Looks like I'm live. Everything looks good. Well, hello everybody. First live rehearsal of my Fuck Fear 2020 project. Hey, I made it. As you can see, I removed the chat. I haven't even tried it again, to be honest, but I think I'm fine with... Looks like I'm live. I'm fine with just watching the chat directly in YouTube Studio. And unfortunately, I have a very needy cat around me, a whiny and a needy cat, so you will probably hear her. She's a very picky eater. To all of you cat parents out there, that's probably a tale you know all too well. Or maybe not. Maybe you're lucky and your cat eats just everything, but mine doesn't, especially when it comes to wet food. And so right now she's in her basically I don't like anything you put in front of me phase. But you know, she'll survive. Cats don't die that fast. So anyway, that's the layout or setup I'm going with for now. Should somebody actually pop into chat, I'm just keep an eye on the chat in YouTube Studio. That has to be enough. Also, I have to see. I noticed I shouldn't be bumping against my desk all the time, because then that makes the camera move back and forth. Did I? Oh no, I haven't. Let me send out a tweet on. Let me tweet that I'm live if anybody wants to join. All right. Okay. I'm set up. I'm wearing gloves because I'm perpetually cold, even though I've been in Germany, or back in Germany for 8 months. I was the last 4 years I was in Oklahoma, where it is, on average, much warmer and also much drier than it is here in Germany. And it always takes me about a year to get used to the weather conditions. It's the same when I moved to Maryland in 2009, and I was dying in summer with the humidity. And then I moved to Oklahoma and I was dying because it was much hotter, but for the most part also much, much drier. And now I'm back and it's raining all the time and it's a little bit cold. And anyway, enough whining. But the last thing I will say about this, I'm actually standing on a heating pad, which is really nice and comfy. All right, let's start with a little what and why. So what is this and why am I doing this? So if you watched any of the Fuck Fear 2020 recordings that I've been doing and read the descriptions, then you already know that this is a little project I came up with more or less spontaneously in November, December of last year. And so the first reason is that I want to get back into singing, because I haven't been active in that regard in quite some time, other than, you know, occasionally singing under the shower. And the other is that I want to work on my stage fright. Actually, let's start with a little bit of storytelling. And here comes the cat, as I expected. Yeah, I know, life is hard for you. You have a bowl full of delicious, high-quality meat. Now take your little asshole out of the camera. So, storytelling time. As a teenager, I took singing lessons, classical singing lessons actually. So from the age of 15 until I was about 23, I think. So I sang lots of opera pieces and church songs and folk songs and whatnot, and it did a lot for me, I have to say, in regards to carrying yourself more self-confidence, like literally carrying yourself, you know, standing up taller, straighter, what have you, but also metaphorically. And then when I was 19, I started a band, and we started as a J-rock cover band. So we only did Japanese rock for the first few years. And so between the singing lessons and the band, I was on many a stage throughout the years. There were recitals and concerts. I sang at church a lot of times, or many times, mostly for concerts, or maybe for during Christmas Mass, but mostly for concerts and weddings. And then with the band, we also had a few gigs. So again, we were a J-rock cover band, and we performed at a few anime conventions in Germany. And one time, it even got to the point where thinking about it, still feels surreal. But we were at Germany's biggest anime and manga convention. I don't even know if it's still around. And so on one of the days of the convention, we performed at a small, dingy club. But then they also invited us to come on stage for what's the opposite of opening show? It's like the closing show, the last big show of the convention. It was on a Sunday, where they invited just different acts that had already been on stage throughout the convention. And we were in this ballroom. I guess you can call it a ballroom, although it had a stage, but it also had like a balcony. Let's call it a ballroom. Anyway, so we ended up performing in front of about 1,000 people, which was really strange thinking about it. But the thing is that I don't remember a single time where I felt completely relaxed and comfortable singing for others. And that has always bugged me, because obviously, when you're nervous and you're doing any kind of public performance, it shows, right? It shows in all sorts of ways. Maybe it shows differently depending on what you're doing. If you're giving a speech, I've never had issues with public speaking, never had issues with oral exams. Yeah, I was always a bit tense right beforehand. But then once I got going, it was fine, because I knew what I was doing. Well, most of the time. Yeah, when I think of my oral examination or one of the oral examinations for my master's, oh boy. But in general, I don't mind public speaking, and I play tabletop role-playing games which are streamed live, and that's fine. I don't remember ever being nervous for it. I mean, tense if you knew that the characters you and the other people were playing were about to get into a really tense situation. Yes, so tense about the narrative and what's happening, but not tense for being on camera. But with singing, it's really, for me, it's been something else. It's like when you sing, you really can't hide in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know what actors would have to say about that. I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think that it's a little bit easier to hide nervousness if you are acting and speaking. I mean, yes, your voice will be shaky, and it probably shows in your body language, but I would imagine that still maybe you can compensate a bit better, maybe through body language, or facial expressions or improvising. Again, I might be completely wrong. So, you're watching this if you're an actor and you disagree, let me know, because I would actually like to know what you have to say about this. But with singing, it's you hear it in every note. If you're nervous, if you're tense, if you're not fully relaxed, because you sing with your whole body, and as soon as you're nervous, you don't support your voice properly anymore. You don't do breath support, so you might run out of breath, and then your voice becomes shaky. Your voice might break. You will have trouble hitting certain notes. You might, God forbid, forget the text, which obviously can happen too with an actor, but again, that's where I would say that maybe improvisation becomes a bit easier in those situations than when you're singing. And so yeah, the fact that I've been singing for such a long time, on and off, still, and never had a single moment where singing in front of others was nothing but joy. I'm not saying that is always awful. That's definitely not the case. But it's never the same as if you're just singing for yourself, or taking a shower or whatnot. And maybe it will never be exactly the same, but I want to get as close to that as possible. And so that's why I decided a couple of months ago to start this project. And I started with recordings because I thought it was safer in a way, right? Because it's a recording, there's no live audience. But I quickly realized, always remembered that I was reminded that with doing a recording, you're also faced with a pressure of producing a really good take that you are then willing to put to upload and then forward to others, because so the condition of the project, or specifically for the recordings, was that I don't get to tweak the pitch, right? Because one idea of the project is also to be okay with uploading something that's not perfect. But then you do have the pressure of getting one really nice take that makes you feel somewhat good about yourself, and that you're then ready to share with others. And what I started to do, and I mentioned it in one of the tests for the live rehearsals, is that I do go ahead and edit the volume a little bit if there are songs where the volume level ranges quite a lot, and so that I do, but no pitch tweaking. And so yeah, that actually turned out to be a bit more, not stressful, but I've never been fully happy with anything that I put out, or I haven't been completely happy with anything I've put out so far. But then again, I guess any artist out there probably has the same issue. That this is probably a dream we're chasing, to get to the point where you're completely happy. And I guess what we learn to go for is to be okay with saying, well, there's always things that could go better, but I'm okay right now where it is. It's all right, And so I've been talking, for almost 50 minutes. Good Lord. Well, honestly, if you've known me for a while, you know that I go off tangent all the time, and I hardly know when to stop talking. I love telling stories. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this. And I think I'm actually warm enough now so that the gloves can come off. All right. Yeah, I think that's more than enough for the introductory blah blah. And so I don't really have a fixed plan for these rehearsals. Today I'm just I'm starting with Show Yourself, because that's, I already sang it a little bit on one of the tests, and it's the song that I'm working on right now. As I mentioned in the setups, I don't have a real rehearsal plan. This is all pretty spontaneous because I have a lot on my plate these days, and I can't set up a fixed schedule for this, and honestly I think I don't want to anyway. So I will do these rehearsals whenever I feel like it and whenever I have the time to. And well, the original plan was to have this run for about 20 to 30 minutes, so I guess I should really get to singing. So the way I'm going to do this, at least for now, is that I'm not going to just sing a whole song. Again, this is not about me giving, having a concert and whatnot, but I'm just focusing on one part of the song and then playing around with the different sections with the lines, and until I'm happy. Yeah, and then we see. We'll go from there. So yeah, Show Yourself from Frozen 2 is what I'm working on right now. And fun fact, I haven't even seen Frozen 2 yet. I completely missed my chance when it was in theaters here in Germany. But it will be out as video on demand soon in Germany. I know you can already get it in the US, but Amazon and iTunes, they know where you are located, and if it's something that's scheduled to be released in your country, you can't buy it through a different store. So, but that's fine. It'll be released in about 3 weeks or so. Besides, I watched the trailers and I watched the scene that goes along with Show Yourself, where Elsa sings Show Yourself and where she sings Into the Unknown, and so I already have, like, I'm spoiled pretty well already. And by the way, if you haven't yet seen Frozen 2 and you really absolutely do not want to be spoiled in any kind of way, then I would suggest to maybe come back to this video later. Again, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I will probably say something you might not want to hear. So the spoilering might start now. I hadn't even listened to Show Yourself until about 2 weeks ago, because a friend of mine and one of my German students, actually, he said that I should give this a try. He listened to some of the recordings I did, and he's an opera singer, and he said, you should really sing Show Yourself. I think that would work really well for your voice. And so I went and listened to it, and I have to say, it is not, for me at least, it's not an easily accessible song, though. Unlike Let It Go, for example, because Let It Go is just, stanza, chorus, stanza, bridge, chorus, like the very traditional pop song structure. And you kind of have that too in Show Yourself, but there's a lot of modulation in there, so I actually had to sit down and actively listen to it, and listen to it several times before I understood how it was structured. I don't know, did anybody else have that, feel like that? It ultimately, it is a really beautiful song, and it does work well with my voice, but I had to listen to it a couple of times. And then the other thing is, so the version not the version I'm using, but one thing I noticed pretty quickly, just like with Show Yourself, not Show Yourself, Let It Go, is that Idina Menzel's range is slightly lower than my comfort range, and I will show you in a second. I will sing the first few lines of Show Yourself on the original level. I don't know. I don't play the piano, and I don't know what key it is in. But I have my laptop next to me here. That's why I keep looking down. And so we'll sing the first few lines with the original in the original key, and I can sing it if I haven't done anything strenuous with my voice on that day. It's okay, but yeah, it's not in the range where my voice works best. Just to show you the comparison. So I'm playing it from my laptop this time so that YouTube won't capture it. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. Actually, I take it back. It is quite uncomfortable to sing it at this level today. It was fine earlier. So let's go to the slightly higher one. And if I'm going to record it, I might have to find a version that's even a little bit higher than the karaoke track I found, because it's just slightly higher. So let's take a look at this. Oh, listen. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I am home. I might even sing it a little bit higher today. Hold on a second. Every inch of me is every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I'm home. Yeah, that's better. It's not perfect, for one very simple reason, is that I am nervous right now. It's like as long as I did just tests, for the stream set, I was like, oh, it's just a test. Who cares? But now it's official, so the stage fright hits again. You know what? Let's start. Where's the... Oh wait, this is not the whole text. I thought I had printed out the whole... Hold on a second. I thought I had printed out the whole text. The lyrics, I mean. But I didn't. Okay. Okay, let's start again from the beginning. inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I am home. I have always been a fortress, cold secrets deep inside. You have secrets too, you don't have to hide. See, as soon as I get into my comfort range where I can belt everything, the world is good again. But and of course I've woken up the cat. But yeah, see, that's what I meant with you cannot hide when you sing and you're nervous, because as soon as I'm slightly below, or I'm singing a lower register, I don't have the proper support, and then things sound a little bit shaky. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I'm home. Of course, then it gets really high. Yeah, that might also be not good. So let's go back to the original audio level, not audio level, tonal register. Hold on. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I am home. No, I'm not supposed to clear my throat. Hold on. That's something I recently learned. When you have, so I'm obviously, as soon as I was going to start singing, my vocal cords became a bit mucusy, whatever you want to call that. And so I recently learned you're not supposed to clear your throat, because that makes everything just worse. And it feels like I am home. I have always been a fortress, cold secrets deep inside. You have secrets too, but you don't have to hide. Show yourself, I'm dying to meet you. Show yourself, it's your turn. Are you the one I've been looking for? Alright, do it again. Are you the one? Nope. Show yourself, it's your turn. Are you the one I've been looking for all of my life? Show yourself, I'm ready to learn. What? Yeah, I have to apologize. I'm not sure if it's gonna get any better. I didn't think that I would actually be that nervous. Oh well. Okay, it's almost half an hour. You know what? I'm just gonna jump to a later section. Another one that I really like. Come to me now, open your door, don't make me wait one moment more. Oh, come to me now, open your door, don't make me wait one moment more. I hope that was okay with the with the snowball. Well, we'll see. I'm probably going to get the Rode mic next time. Okay, let's do this again. Once more with feeling. Come to me now, open your door, don't make me wait one moment more. Oh, come to me now, open your door, don't make me wait one moment more. And then comes the chorus. Oh yeah, so I spoke about spoilers earlier, and then I guess I didn't spoil anything. But so the song is really where Elsa comes into herself. Is that how you say it? But it's basically the conclusion of what started with Let It Go, and then Into the Unknown, and then Show Yourself, where she finds herself and I guess also fully accepts herself. And from what I gather, from what I've seen, I watched the scene from the movie where she sings it, and she finds this other ice palace, and I can only assume that this seems to be where her power originates from. So I don't know if she, was she adopted? I don't know. But she sees she sees memories on the icy walls all around her from her past, but also from her parents' past. And when you hear the that's actually her mom who's calling out, and I think she's calling out after she and her husband shipwrecked, and you just see her, and then she also sees her sister Anna, who then sing, "Come, my darling, homeward bound," and then Elsa answers, "I am found." Sorry if that was loud. I just realized I do not have Audacity or anything running in the background, so I might have to do that. First time streamer here. All the things I have to get used. So, okay, let me see for how long has this been going on. Okay, that's 34. Oh, I've got a comment. Hey, Gregory, sorry, I didn't see this earlier. So Gregory says, that's very sweet. Not to create nerves, Petra, but it sounds beautiful and a difficult song at that. Doing work and mostly lurking. Thank you for lurking. Lurking is always good. Yeah, but I want to work through the nerves. And I know it'll get better. It's really stupid. It's like why even the nervosity? Why the nerves? I mean, I know why. Everybody who's experienced stage fright knows why, because you're making yourself vulnerable, and you don't want to Well, being vulnerable in front of people is hard, right? Especially if you have high standards for yourself. And that's definitely something I do. I put I set up very high standards for myself, which I would never expect for my friends, obviously. But I have them for myself. And so, yeah, that's hence the nerves. You don't want to appear as not weak, but yeah, it's hard, even if it's just singing. But again, anybody who's been on stage, you can tell yourself, oh, I'm just singing for others, or I'm just performing a play for others, or I'm just doing stand up for others. If you have stage fright, you know that that's not gonna do shit for your nerves. But I have seen a TED talk where I think it was a songwriter, and he was hella nervous each time he got on stage. And then at some point, he actually started to talk to his audience, just started being honest about the fact that he was sweating bullets and starting to shake, which is not the case with me. It's by far not that bad. But once he started talking to his audience about it, it got better and better. And so, yes, exactly. So Gregory is writing, the only real way to make it work is to be vulnerable. That's true, actually, right? You have to learn to be okay with being vulnerable, which I am only with friends, around friends, and even then I'm, yeah, there's lots of defenses there. And then he also writes, very few places to hide musically. Yes, absolutely. That's what I said at the beginning, right? Every shaky little note, and then it just spirals, not out of control, but it's like a snowball effect. Snowball frozen, get it? Yeah. I think I'm going to just sing the very first part again, and then I will stop here. It's already going much longer than I anticipated, but next time I promise I will not tell my whole life story again, and get straight into singing. And then I think I won't just always focus on one song, because again, I'm not practicing for a specific set. I'm not practicing for a gig. This is supposed to be fun, so I will sing not whatever comes to mind, but I will have a few songs ready. And then I will sing whatever I want to, because that's my stream, so I can do that. Okay, yeah, let's sing the very beginning once more, and then call it a day. Call it a night, actually. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I am home. I have always been a fortress, cold secrets deep inside. You have secrets too, you don't have to hide. Show yourself, I'm dying to meet show yourself. It's your turn. Are you the one I've been looking for all of my life? Show yourself. I'm ready to learn. I've never felt so certain. All my life I've been torn. But I'm here for a reason. Could it be the reason I was born? I have always been so different. Normal rules did not apply. Is this the day? Are you the way? I finally find out why. Show yourself. I'm no longer trembling. Here I am. I've come so far. You are the answer I've waited for all of my life. Oh, show yourself. Let me see who you are. Come to me now. Open your door. Don't make me wait one moment more. Come to me now. Open your door. Don't make me wait one moment more. And then comes the blah blah blah. North wind meets the sea. There's no blah 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 blah. Here comes Anna. Come, my darling, homeward bound. And now I missed Elsa's part. Show yourself. Step into your power. Throw yourself into something new. You are the one I've been waiting for all of my life. Oh, show yourself. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm sorry. I'm not singing the last 3 ahs, last commentary, and then we will stop for today. So the slightly higher version works in general, if I'm not nervous, really well for me. Just not the last. Is it the last of the 3? Wait, where does it start? Hold on. This is a really fucked up note. I'm sorry, but I have to. It's I don't know if this is a D. I have to double check, but it's a note where I'm switching from. I don't even know what it is, but I can't belt it because I think I'm switching into head voice. So I have to find a better. Yeah, I have to sing it higher, sort of in mask, but really really up there, and I have to work on that. I should probably ask my opera singing student and friend for help. But thank you, Gregory. Gregory says nicely done. All right, 44 minutes. Okay, yes, I will end it here. I will see you soon again. I will see you again soon. Yeah, my English is disintegrating. Time to end it here. As I said in one of the setups, I don't know how often I'm going to do it. It will probably happen spontaneously. So I will be back sometime next week. Oh, hey, Alex. Thank you. Yes, beautiful. Okay, I will stop it here, and then I'm going to listen back because I want to see When I started belting sort of at more or less full volume, I moved back. But I know that the snowball has its limits, so next time I'm going to get the better mic, and probably have to do a test before that because I haven't done a test with that yet. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. If you're watching this later, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and see you soon.